Since the release of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Nintendo Switch, Robert has been in love. The Switch is frequently stolen from GOTG Studios, and he plays it everywhere he goes. Yes, everywhere he goes. In today's episode of Gaming Off the Grid, Wes brings along 5 games that remind him of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 in a desperate attempt to get Robert to put the Switch down. Will this ploy work? Stay tuned to this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Nerd. Keep gaming, keep drinking, and keep gaming off the grid.
Man, this has got to stop.
I'm in the middle of a game.
I need my co-host back. I need my friend back to play games with. All you're doing is playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 all the time.
We're a video game channel. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, but we're not getting anything done. So today, to kind of pull you away from it, I brought along 5 games that are a lot like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm going to try weaning you off slowly. Okay. So we're going to jump right in with an awesome co-op beat-em-up called Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
This game is so sweet. It's 2 players, and it is so much fun.
Yeah, midway game here. Brian Newland actually recommended this to us a long time ago, and this game is incredible. It's still got fatalities. It has a familiar feel to any Mortal Kombat fan, but it's a great departure from that style of fighting.
And it's a super fun, easy beat-em-up, but there's so many cool button combos you can do. It kind of has like a God of War-esque fighting style, because you can get like combos and stuff.
Anybody who's played those first few God of War games, you would really, if you enjoyed those, you would really enjoy this one, because the hit mechanics of how you can get multiple hits in a row, a lot of that is at work here in this game.
And if you're a fan of the original Mortal Kombat's, like the button combos and the fatalities, they still have the button combos. It still goes to a different screen for the fatalities, and some of them are brutal.
They are gnarly. So you got to check out Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for sure. We're gonna roll right into the next one, and there's actually 3 games in this series. Kind of, pick whichever one you enjoy. We only have the second and third one, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. The second one's called Battle Nexus, and the third one is called Mutant Nightmares.
And these games are so sweet. They're up to 4 players, which is awesome. A 4-player beat 'em up. One thing I do want to say about these games is they're awesome, but some of the jumping mechanics and like jumping to different platforms kind of sucks. But once you get past that, it's like, dude, these are a lot of fun.
We live streamed one of these once. I want to say it was the second one. I can't remember. But what's cool about the second and third one is they are both 2-disc games. And on the second disc, in the second one, you can unlock the original Turtles arcade game.
Yes.
And the third one, which is why I like the third one the best, you can unlock Turtles in Time.
Heck yes, that's the best. You can play Turtles in Time on your GameCube or your Wii.
Yep. So and they're the arcade versions of those games. So if you haven't checked out the Gen 6 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, you might want to check them out. Konami did a pretty darn good job with these beat-em-ups.
And I highly recommend playing as Raphael.
All right, the next game we are going to talk about was actually brought to our attention by Neo Turbo Maniac in the Raging Justice episode.
Yes.
And he said that Warriors, the Rockstar game, was one of his favorite beat-em-ups of all time. So we had to pick it up. We love suggestions, so note that, please, and drop them in the comment section below. But we started playing this game, and holy cow, it is a ton of fun.
It is so much fun. It's only a 2-player game, but it's super sweet. I think it follows the movie kind of loosely. Not 100% sure. I haven't seen the Warriors in such a long time. But this game is kind of brutal, but it has like a very old-school Grand Theft Auto type feel.
It does.
And it's awesome.
So yeah, if you are accustomed to at least the controls of Grand Theft Auto and kind of the way the missions and stuff work, you'd find yourself right at home here. The fighting mechanics, though, are pretty good. You have the options to grab, throw, etc. And the game is very violent and very vulgar. So this is not one for kids, probably, unless you want to mess them up or something.
One of my favorite things from this game is you can spray paint people in the face. So that is awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, if you are looking for a game that is kind of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Warriors is a good one you can pick up on the cheap. So,
highly recommend it.
Yeah. So moving right along, this next set of games is very, very similar to the Ultimate Alliance series.
Very similar.
And it's the X-Men Legends game. These are both multi-platform games, but we have them on the GameCube.
Yes, and these are 4 players as well. And man, these games are sweet. If you're a fan of the X-Men, highly recommend these games. It plays very similar to the Marvel games, but it is for the GameCube.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit older. The graphics aren't as great.
Yep. It's kind of got that cel-shaded graphics art style. These these games are a ton of fun, and you can pick both of these games up on the cheap. And again, it's on multiple platforms, so whether it's GameCube, PS2, or Xbox, you could grab these games probably at a video game store for a relatively cheap price.
Super awesome.
All right, we have one more set of games that we want to cover, but before we do, let's talk about this beer that was gifted to us by Tom and Lacey over at Do You Nerd.
Yes, this is by Mothers, and this is the Paloma Gose. This is really good. What do you think of it?
I think this is a fantastic, easy drinking Gose, and it would be a great introductory beer for someone to get into Goses and possibly sours.
Yes.
But it's very refreshing.
It's very refreshing, but it's very simple. It's not like super tarty. It's a really good drinker. You can taste that grapefruit. You can taste that lime flavor. There's agave in here. Man,
yeah.
It's a lot of good flavors.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and we're pretty picky when it comes to sours because we've been spoiled with the area we're in. There's a couple breweries that do them really well. But this beer, you know, if I could take a page out of your book, would be great on a hot summer day.
Yeah, this is a fantastic hot summer day beer. I think Mothers has been listening to me about making summer beers because perfect.
Yeah, this is divine. So thank you so much, Tom and Lacey. And if you are ever in the Missouri area, specifically Springfield, you might want to check out Mother's Brewery because the ones we've had from them, they're pretty darn good. All right, we have one more set of games we want to talk about. In particular, we want to talk about Gauntlet Dark Legacy. We have it on the Xbox. This is another multi-platform game. This is a great arcade 4-player style beat 'em up / RPG.
It kind of has an RPG element, but if you're not a fan of RPGs, don't worry because I'm not a huge fan of them either, but this game is awesome. It kind of reminds me of like a Dungeons and Dragons style where like you pick your different classes of like people, like there's a sorcerer, warrior, you know what I mean? The fighting mechanics are simple and you just go through and beat people up and you use magic, you can upgrade your characters. It's so much fun.
Yeah, so I also brought along Gauntlet Legends from the N64 because this is the game I remember playing a ton with my neighbors growing up. But now when I put this game in, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't quite do it for me as much, but when we popped this in, per, again, Brian Newland's recommendation, we were like, wow, this is a lot of fun, very engaging, and the voiceover work really makes you feel, we kind of cranked the stereo up because it really makes you kind of feel like you're immersed in that arcade experience.
Yeah, it does, and the art style in this game is so freaking sweet.
Very cool. So anyways, here are some games that if you are in love, like this guy, with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, you can pick up, and all of these games are relatively cheap. The Turtles games are probably the most expensive on this list, but you know what? All of them I think are still relatively affordable if you want to try some other three-dimensional beat-em-ups.
And it goes without saying, like, if you're a fan of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, check out the other ones, 1 and 2. They're both fantastic, but we didn't want to talk about those because those are obvious choices.
Yep, absolutely.
These games are so much fun, and I think out of all these 5, my favorite is the Mortal Kombat one.
Absolutely.
I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is so awesome.
You're probably going to see that come up in a live stream at some point down the line because that game, literally, we couldn't stop playing it. We delayed production by a couple hours because we just kept plowing forward. So we always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. And if you want any Gaming Off the Grid merch, head over to tpublic.com. There's some pretty cool stuff over there. Keep gaming, keep drinking, and we'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. He's playing it again.
Per Gaming Off the Grid policy, no animals, in particular turtles, were harmed in the making of this video.